is he?
Yep.
Yo, James, where are you? I'm at the airport.
Oh no.
Yo, our flight leaves in like 5 minutes.
Oh god, Thomas, it's happened again.
What?
Oh no, where are you this time?
London.
You're watching Throttle House. I'm Thomas. And yes, sadly, James is away today. He's actually back in England. That's right, he's actually English. It's his birthday. And what I was going to have you do is subscribe for his birthday. I thought that would be fun. But what would be even better is if you actually spammed his Instagram inbox with pictures of PT Cruisers. He doesn't know I'm telling you to do this. Now, Volkswagen has flown me out to Montreal so that we can drive the entire 4Motion lineup on the ice. But today, for science, what I'm going to do is put the Golf R against the GTI on this snowy track to see if you actually need all-wheel drive to have fun. Okay, let's start here on the circuit with this, the Golf GTI Rabbit. The Rabbit nameplate has been brought back this year and the GTI is all the better for it. The electronic diff is now standard across the GTI line, and this one has adjustable dampers and a DSG. Now, if you want details about this car, go watch our road test, because today I'm going to focus on whether or not you need the Golf R to truly have fun at the limit. All right, in the GTI. Now, this is a front-wheel drive car, obviously. In fact, it is the front-wheel drive car. So if I turn in and use the weight transfer, just lift off the throttle, get some weight over the front, I'm getting lift-off oversteer on almost every corner. So the key is to go in too fast and lift, just kind of bully it into a little bit of a slide. To be honest, I got in this car thinking like, okay, this review is going to be about, oh, the all-wheel drive ends up being better. We're going to go drift the Golf R in a second, but for right now, to be honest, I'm having some fun in this GTI. Okay, what does it actually feel like out here? Well, the steering for being on ice is actually got a good amount of weight to it. There's a decent amount of feedback, actually, a lot more than I thought there was going to be. The transmission feels a little bit sluggish, but I'm keeping it in second gear. You know what? Here's a handbrake for you, though. And you use the front wheel drive to pull it out. Okay. I'm having fun already. All right, reverse entry. Ready? Oh, the ESC kicks in no matter what. It's even off and it kicks in. All right, hit the handbrake, counter steer on the throttle, and it pulls it out. I'm having fun. All right, going in, that's too tight. Handbrake turn. A little bit of handbrake, keep your thumb on it. This is me oversteer in a GTI. So the GTI can be a fun little car on the ice, but it does have a rather imposing big brother. And this one is as red as an Imperial Guard. In fact, the Golf R comes in a spectrum of colors, so you can't say VW isn't trying to make the R playful looking. Now, the Golf R has a more aggressive tune on that 2-liter, more exhaust noise in the cabin, and more importantly, an all-wheel drive system. The system is front-based, but it has a rear electro-hydraulic differential with a primed coupling pump that is ready to send torque to the rear at a 50-50 split. Now, as you saw, however, I did have a lot of fun in just the front-wheel drive Golf. But, you see, sometimes you do want all-wheel drive. Why? Well, for one very good reason. Hello?
Hey. How's it going?
Fine. I'm a little busy.
You haven't crashed yet, have you?
Well, not yet, but I really appreciate the call right now. Okay, bye.
Rude. So the GTI was honestly fun. I liked it, but let's try the Golf R. All right. Immediately on the ice, it puts the power down very obviously better. But the question is, I can get some angle out of it. That's fun. Transitions are not the easiest thing to do when you're talking to a camera. Anyway, Golf R doesn't put as much power to the rear as you kind of would want, right? Sounds better. But once you get it into a slide, it does do some four-wheel slides. It's a totally different game doing four-wheel skids. I'm so used to rear-wheel drive. I have to retrain my brain to do this. See, even I got a little bit of electronic interference, even in the Golf R, but not that much. We're okay. We're okay. All right, so the GTI is fun. The Golf R is more fun. You can't get away from that. Is it worth the extra money, though? I don't know. Let's take it on a figure eight. Okay, now the Golf R has a 4-motion all-wheel drive system like all Volkswagens do. And the thing that got me before was that the Focus RS, in comparison to it, felt like it put so much more power to the rear. And it felt like to me that the Golf R couldn't really do a full drift, you know what I mean? So basically I'm gonna take this out on what is effectively a large drift circle, and I'm gonna see if I can sustain a drift in this Golf R. All right, here we go. All right, getting it into a drift was not quite as easy as I thought it was going to be. It doesn't want to send power to the rear like my brain tells it should, but basically the trick is to, with your Golf R, turn in sharply, give it a big boot, get yourself sideways, and then give it a whole crap ton. And we're doing a 4-wheel drift in the Golf R. So it's 4-wheel drive, you can get hilarious angle and continue. There's no feel in it's so icy. I don't have any idea where my front tires are pointing. So I'm having a hard time figuring out which way because I'm using the front tires to create angle as well. So if I don't know which way they're going, I've lost track of my wheel. That's just because I'm an idiot. Weird thing about all-wheel drive is that you don't actually want to turn into the slide as much. We'll watch Ken Block do his drifts. You just gotta keep the tires pointing straight.
I played around for quite a while. The speeds weren't very high because the surface was so slick, but it was still a lot of fun. And for me, it was more practice in all-wheel drive drifting. However, I decided to have another go in the GTI, just to see what it was like going back to front-wheel drive.
Okay, we're back out in the GTI for one last little hoon before we conclude. Now, this is the Golf Rabbit, and I absolutely love this car. It's blue, it has a rabbit badge, it's fun to drive, it's great to live with. I absolutely adore this car. You've probably seen mine and James's review of it, and it versus the Veloster N and all that. Now, out here, in the snow, on the ice, all-wheel drive is more fun, and I think you knew that conclusion was coming. However, I don't want to be too predictable, and I want to say that for the most part, and for the majority of the time, front-wheel drive, a Golf GTI is all you need. And you have to trust me when I say, when you get these on a dry track and you can't do any sort of power oversteer, when it's all down to the balance of the car and just the chassis, the GTI becomes just as fun as the Golf R, in my opinion, on a track. Because it's all about weight transfer, it's all about balance in the car, and these cars are well done. They're feisty, that's how they feel. Like, look at this right now. This is me oversteering without handbrake in a front-wheel drive car. Once you dial that in and figure out how to do that, that's all you need. You can laugh, you can have fun. There it is. That's me doing oversteer. The car will actually help you a little bit. It will create a little bit of yaw for you, which is what's happening right now. And I'm having a good time. Honestly, what more do you need on a regular basis? You save money, you save gas, get the GTI. Golf R, if you can afford it, obviously it's better. It's everything the GTI is, but more power and all-wheel drive. But if you're like, oh, I'm gonna save or I can't get one, don't be upset. You can get the GTI and I promise that you will be happy. All right, thanks for watching Throttle House. Next week, or even later this week, normal programming will resume when James returns from England. Make sure you DM him pictures of PT Cruisers. He hates the PT Cruiser, and I think it would be hilarious if he got 1,000 inboxes of PT Cruiser pictures. So please do that. He's gonna kill me.
Goodbye.